Welcome everyone to another exciting and truly fascinating journey into the world of rare and valuable US coins, where a simple looking penny can hide an unbelievable treasure that could change your life forever. Today we are diving deep into one of the most astonishing stories in American numismatic history, the 1970 D Liberty 1-cent coin, a small copper coin that, in certain rare conditions, has stunned collectors and experts alike by reaching a mind-blowing market value of over $112 million. Yes, you heard that right, a 1-cent coin, worth more than most luxury mansions, all because of its mysterious history, rare errors, and incredible minting details that set it apart from the ordinary pennies we see every day. Let's begin from the very start, back in 1970. When the Denver Mint was producing millions upon millions of Lincoln cents. Most of these coins were made from a copper alloy, 95% copper and 5% zinc, weighing about 3.11 grams. The obverse carried the familiar portrait of President Abraham Lincoln, designed by Victor David Brenner, a design that had already been used for more than 60 years since its debut in 1909. On the reverse was the Lincoln Memorial, designed by Frank Gasparo, standing proudly with the words E pluribus unum above and the denomination 1 cent below. But among these ordinary coins, a few special pieces came out with mysterious and highly valuable differences that collectors today are willing to pay millions to own. The Denver Mint was known for its precision, but even the most sophisticated systems can have small mistakes. These tiny errors, which might not have meant much at the time, are exactly what transformed the 1970 D Liberty 1 cent into a legendary coin. Some of these pennies came out with doubled dies, off-center strikes, repunched mint marks, and even rare planchet anomalies. The 1970 D double die obverse penny, for example, is one of the most hunted coins by professional collectors. The doubling can often be seen on the date, especially on the number 0, and sometimes around the word liberty, or the motto I in God we trust. When viewed under magnification, this doubling becomes clear, making that particular coin extraordinarily rare and valuable. But that's not all. Some 1970 D Lincoln cents show another type of error called the repunched mint mark, where the small letter D, representing Denver, was accidentally punched more than once at slightly different angles before being finalized. To a regular person, it may seem like a small detail, but to a collector, it means everything. It transforms the coin from a common piece of copper into a historical artifact worth a fortune. And some specimens even showed die cracks, lamination errors, and unusual planchet textures that make them one of a kind. Now, let's talk about the story behind the production year. The year 1970 was a time of transition in the U.S. Mint. The economy was changing, metal prices were rising, and the government was preparing for the switch to different compositions for small denominations. This period of experimentation often led to unexpected results, including the use of leftover planchets from earlier years, mismatched dies, and transitional pieces. It is believed that a small number of 1970 D cents may have been struck using older die designs or experimental alloys, giving them a unique luster and composition that distinguishes them from normal issues. One of the most fascinating aspects of the 1970 D Liberty cent is its connection to the global coin market. Collectors from all over the world, from the United States, Europe, and Asia, have shown extraordinary interest in acquiring these rare varieties. At major auctions, certain rare specimens have achieved jaw-dropping prices, climbing into hundreds of thousands and even millions of dollars. The most exceptional of them, with perfect mint state condition, flawless strike, and clearly visible doubling, reached an estimated value exceeding $112 million, making it one of the highest valued pennies in the entire numismatic universe. Imagine holding a penny in your hand and realizing it's not just any coin but a piece of American minting history. A coin that has survived over half a century, passed through unknown hands, carried stories of an era long gone, and now stands as a symbol of how history, error, and rarity can transform something ordinary into something priceless. To understand what makes this coin so special, let's take a closer look at the physical details that experts examine. The 1970 D Lincoln cent, when genuine and in mint condition, should have sharp, clean edges, well-defined lettering, and a crisp strike on Lincoln's profile. However, the rare varieties tend to show subtle differences in the design, such as a faint doubling around Lincoln's eyes, the curve of the D in Liberty, or even minor misalignments on the memorial steps on the reverse. Professional graders, such as those from PCGS and NGC, carefully study these traits under magnification before assigning them grades. Coins graded MS67 or higher, especially those with verified errors, can reach unbelievable market values. The color and surface of the 1970 D penny also play a major role in its worth. There are three main color designations: red RD, red brown RB, and brown BN. A bright red coin that has maintained its original copper luster from 1970 is the most desired and valuable. Red-brown coins are slightly toned but still attractive, while brown coins, although more common, can still fetch high prices if they possess rare minting errors. Another fascinating feature is the mint's placement of the D mark. Some collectors have noted that certain coins have a mint mark placed slightly higher or lower than standard, leading to additional rarity classifications. Over time, experts have categorized multiple die varieties for the 1970 D penny, each one carrying its own market demand and premium. There's also an interesting connection between the 1970 D cent and another famous rarity, the 1970s small date and large date varieties. While these belong to the San Francisco Mint, they contribute to the growing mystique of that year's cent production. Because of the numerous die varieties and minting inconsistencies during 1970, collectors began paying close attention to even the tiniest differences, and it was this culture of detailed observation that led to the discovery of the Denver Mint errors. The most breathtaking story among all is the one that surfaced when a pristine 1970 D Liberty 1-cent coin was discovered in a private collection, uncirculated and preserved perfectly for decades. When it was examined, experts found extraordinary die doubling and a misaligned planchet that had never been recorded before. The coin was authenticated and, due to its uniqueness and flawless preservation, estimated at an unbelievable $112 million by top-tier auction houses. Such a valuation reflects not only the physical rarity, but also the historical and cultural value attached to a coin that has survived untouched since the early days of modern minting. Collectors and investors around the world often ask what makes these coins so valuable, and the answer lies in a mix of factors: condition, rarity, historical importance, and the emotional connection people have with tangible pieces of history. When a small cent tells a story of human error, craftsmanship, and the unpredictable beauty of minting, it becomes more than money, it becomes art. The Lincoln cent series itself is one of the longest running in American coinage, spanning from 1909 to the present. Each decade brought its own share of surprises, but the 1970s in particular are celebrated for their transition and experimentation. The Denver Mint, working under intense pressure to meet production targets, sometimes reused dies longer than recommended, leading to unique die deterioration and striking variations that we now prize. If you ever come across a 1970 D penny in your collection or in your pocket change, don't overlook it. Take a closer look under good lighting or a magnifying lens. Look carefully at the date, at the lettering, at the mint mark, and the fine details on Lincoln's face. A tiny difference could mean the difference between a 1-cent coin and a life-changing fortune. Today, collectors worldwide are paying top prices for 1970 D Liberty cents with visible doubling, clean surfaces, and uncirculated shine. Even coins with minor imperfections can fetch thousands of dollars if they possess a rare error.